doesn't run the phone out and run against the thing, how we could have been ready to do it. Because people will commit to negative things and then they don't end up doing good, right? So anyway, I'm so grateful that I was there. We're not going to go as last night. We connected and had an amazing activity. This is like literally on the evening of 2 days. And we've been working with the last day. We've been working with the team. It was actually my birthday. So anyway, we had an opportunity to connect, talk. Over years past by, we hadn't connected, and then every once in a while, I will hear from Mac. Mac will send me a text message and just say, "Hey, how you doing? How's the show going? Blah blah blah." He was just like, one day we were in the car, we were listening to your show, and we just kept riding past our exit, and we just kept going and going and going. So it's interesting because this came at a time when I was feeling a little discouraged about my show. Right? It's like at one point in my time, down through the years, I've always been able to be told by the numbers, by the engineers and the executive producers of the radio stations that I work for. Those people always let me know what my numbers were, right? And sometimes they would just tell me, "We're not going to tell you your numbers, but your show is the number one show." So with that being said, I think over the years I kind of got comfortable. And then I had this opportunity to do this show on Stationhead, and I'm seeing that it seems like that although I don't recognize or see people unfollowing me, it does not seem like that my numbers are growing. And so the fact that I can see that has something that has kind of like been discouraging to me a little bit. And sometimes I really, really have to push myself to get up and actually keep doing it. So I've been thinking about this. Like I said, shout out to Lil Wayne, who got the soundtrack to my life, because he said, love is blind, but we caught eyes. It's a bumpy road, but a joyride. So with that being said, March has been a bumpy road of ups and downs. What should I do? Should I go? Should I stop? Am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? Back and forth with all of this, in addition to the fact that I had all this time to think about it, in addition to the fact of being burdened that for some reason this month of March, my business just has not been doing a lot of business, right? So I'm just like, what's really going on? So with all that being said, I just explained all of that for a reason, to say that I'm so grateful to God on this transformation slash throwback Thursday, that I was able to cross paths with my Mac, and he has never lost the thought of me and the impact that I had. This man ain't never tried to come on to me sexually. He ain't never said anything out the way. He's always been respectful, like not to shut me down, and he's older than me. But it was interesting that, like I said, he had hit me up, asked me about how he could support my show. I sent him the information. Then he came by, he texted me and said, "Mac, I have a gift for you." So I was like, okay, so you can bring it by whenever it's convenient for you. He brought it by on yesterday evening. Not only did he come by with good spirit, came by, brought some good green. Didn't just say he had some good green, but brought some good green. Actually rolled up, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I was thinking to myself, is this man rolling another blunt? But we talking business, and it's laid back. We listening to my show. We listen to a couple of snippets of my show. We listen to a couple of people that I listen to. Shout out to Milagro Grams of Mob Radio, and also to we listen to that show. Then we listen to the Night and Day Network. We listened to a couple of different things. But like I said, we connected. We listened to some things. I told him like stuff that I kind of like to listen to, but not necessarily things that I want to do. Because when I think that people do things well, I think that you should seek out what it is that you do well and admire them and support them and what it is that they are doing, especially if they are doing things in a manner that you don't really see yourself doing. Just because everybody got their own personality and everybody have their own goals, and everybody has their own way. And I think that we need to do a little bit better job of embracing the fact that we are put here to love on those things that we admire, right? Not try to duplicate it, copy it, beat it, but allow yourself to be encouraged and kind of trained by how you see people do things, because me and him ended up having a good conversation just about a lot of things. He's connected to a lot of people in the industry and heavily connected to a lot of folks, having family members that have traveled around the world with famous people. But for some reason, he continues to stay in my life and call me. So he brought me this beautiful painting that it usually, where I positioned it just to not put it on the floor, it would have probably been a clash, right? Because the colors aren't really the same as a very large and beautiful painting, ironically, that I was given by a man named Michael, that I put on my wall. And I put that picture on my little makeshift bar, right? That was supposed to be just a bar for the holidays and turned into the actual bar because I don't know, I just think I like the access of being able to walk up on the drinks. I have a vision of a beautiful bar in my house just because being a private bartender, God has allowed me to work in so many beautiful bars that I didn't even know that bars were like created like this, right? I worked in like commercial restaurant bars, but I've also been blessed to work in some beautiful bars. Once even a bar made from marble, from head to toe, with marble and glass. That was the only thing that was in this bar. And it was so beautiful. I had an opportunity, a blessed opportunity to work in this bar. And I remember as I was so grateful that I was able to work in the bar, in this beautiful bar. I remember cleaning it and making sure that it was just spotless and looking back at it and just knowing for a fact that God don't play no games. And I just believe God that maybe I haven't even seen the best bar ever created, right? But it's beautiful that I have gotten accustomed to having like this makeshift bar, even though I haven't been able to financially stock it the way that Listenin is stocked. But God blessed me to be able to so into it, right? So into it and integrity. Everybody like the drinks because I always pray. I don't care if I'm going to bartend. If I'm sitting out in my car before I arrive, when I go into somewhere, I always pray that God cover me, that I don't talk too much, that I don't have any expressions on my face that make these people's home or their event that they invited me into. Because when you go into an event, you're supposed to have if you're going in a domestic or service capacity, you have to have a servant's attitude, right? Because a big part of your value and why your business will continue to grow is the peace and harmony that you add to the room. Allowing your peace to rest on it, kind of like a thermometer or like when you acclimate. You know, it's like you're almost like a fish. You know, when we first get new fish, when I was a little girl, we had a fish tank, and whenever we go get new fish, we put the fish, leave the fish in the bag, put the bag all the way in the fish tank so it would acclimate to the environment, so that it wouldn't go into shock when it hit the different temperature of the water, right? So with that being said, you acclimate yourself by asking God to cover you and humble you and bless that you bring harmony and peace, and that your drinks are made with the proper measurements, because you don't know. A lot of people think, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kanye, who brought this out in a song, and I know only real bartenders could feel it, because there are some amateur bartenders, and shout out to them because they literally try their very best to do right by the customer by over pouring. But a lot of times you can ruin a drink by adding too much alcohol into it, and you also wreck the revenue of what is supposed to come and more drinks you can sell. So with that being said, shout out to Kanye, who said in a song one time, shout out to those bartenders that know about that good, you know what I'm saying, vodka mix ratio or whatever, how he said it. But it was perfect in my mind, the way I heard it, because that is what I learned. Shout out to all the awesome bartenders there for years who took me up under their wing and taught me the right way to do things, right? So it makes me a lot more valuable and presents me with a lot more opportunities. So like I said,